Hello again, everybody. Welcome into CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. We're here at Ann Arbor Huron. We've got ladies water polo between the River Rats and the visiting Skyline Eagles. I'm Nick Wisniewski. So fortunate to be here with Kevin Bryant. Kevin, what are we looking for tonight?
Well, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while, my friend. We're looking for two teams, Nick, that both teams that we have inexperienced and new players into this pool. It's going to be exciting for the viewers to kind of learn both sides, strong players, and areas where they're going to have to work on throughout the season.
As usual, this early on, stick around. We'll be right back. And hello again, everybody. Nothing left to do but the splashing. We are getting ready to go with Polo here at Ann Arbor Huron. Huron with the early possession. Not a whole lot of rush on the River Rat side so far. Nice entry pass into number 7 there. Emma Kapanen.
And Ella Sadler there on the defense. And a reset and a goal.
Early goal there. It's got to be a little bit of a stunner there for both Scott.
And so that would be on here. It looks like it was, let's see if we can check the replay to see the number on the hat there. It's a quick restart and goal there, Nick.
Yeah, that was a little confusing early on. I think even some of the coaches were a little unsure as to what happened there.
Well, we were talking before the game started. It just didn't seem like there was a lot of energy. And so maybe these first couple minutes in the pool will loosen everyone up.
Yeah, I think
everybody, that competitive juice is going.
Well, just standing around on the deck here, the way that they were doing, the way that we were doing, it's obviously pretty warm in here, as per usual. It feels a little warmer than usual, though, and I think it's taken a little bit of a toll. And here we can see that entry pass there right into the crease section for Huron. And it looks like Susan Dowling.
Yeah, one of the captains for Huron with the first goal. And that's Madeline Lynch, one of two seniors for the Eagles in the net.
Actually, it's Aaliyah Tracy, I believe.
Is it Aaliyah Tracy?
Yep. Okay. Getting that turnaround there. It's Aaliyah Tracy. Tracy's an interesting story. She's a freshman. This will be her 4th water polo match, literally ever. She never played the game before this season.
And still has not lost, huh?
Still 3-0. That's a nice record. Yeah, Coach Godek had nothing but glowing things to say about Tracy. Just a great player, a great young lady, excuse me. Great player, but learning to be a player. Still, honestly, doesn't always know all of the rules, but she knows stop ball.
Well, one of the things that Coach Godek doesn't have to worry about teaching is size.
Yeah.
And you can see the length. Oh, just as I mentioned in that, the kiss of death from the old play-by-play guy. But we're talking about the length of Tracy, and we'll see it later on as she gets out and blocks a lot of that cage. But watch this goal here. Another lob shot for the Rats.
It's Kiana Hamadi there just kind of broke away from her player, turned around, and had a nice little, like you said, lob shot right over Tracy.
Similar to the first goal, Nick, where
Yes.
it wasn't a lot of power, and maybe that's some of the scouting report coming out as far as, how can we, get this ball behind Tracy, who started off so well.
And when you are a younger player, obviously you're not going to know the ins and outs of cutting off angles or when to be aggressive and when to be a little more passive of a player. And Huron right now is doing a really nice job of working that ball around, and not even really driving it forward, just doing a great job of passing and getting those entry passes to where they need them.
Well, their offense has been more effective here in this first period, getting down and finding the open player and making decisive shots. First skip shot there. That didn't really get a lot on that one, though, Nick. Kind of pushed it down into the water too much.
But if you've got 2 goals on the board already and you're feeling like you're taking advantage of, strong shot there by Madison Denninger for the Skyline Eagles, and that puts the Eagles on the board.
I like in this sport, similar to a softball, is that you're not going to have a 0-0 match. You're going to score and score at will. So as many opportunities as you get, you got to find the back of that cage. Here's Skyline getting on the board.
And with a real powerful shot there by Denninger. We talked about the 2 lob shots by Huron. Denninger, that was a no-doubter. She put some real heat on that one.
And went upstairs, too.
Yeah.
Good angle as well as follow-through.
Got only the single whistle penalty there. I'm sorry, that was the double whistle penalty, so we'll see one of the Skyline Eagles off to the penalty box. Huron with the man advantage now. They're going to try to work it around and look for that angle that they think works best for them.
It looks like they had an angle on that shot there from number 7, just did not take it. And then that one from the top from Zena Baker.
Crossbar, every goalie's best friend. Skyline driving forward really quickly here. Now they've got their player back out into the pool. Even strength again. That's the single whistle penalty. That's advantage Skyline. They'll keep moving. Play continues.
Good defensive pressure right there.
They see Ella Sadler near pool to us and on your television computer screen. Sadler, the southpaw. Now we see Huron moving the ball forward. Great defense there by Madison Denninger. Denninger makes the swipe and then drives forward very quickly. Tries to post into the middle there.
There's a free person right there out front.
That's Allison Locke, puts a wet shot in, skips into the goal and ties this one at 2.
And Allison Locke, the other captain for the Eagles, with this shot out top. And you can see she was not guarded. That was a defensive breakdown there for the River Rats.
Coach Godek has a lot of good things to say about Allison Locke and her strong, strong shot. I think we'll be seeing a lot from her this evening. Huron continuing that strategy of taking a long inbounds into that center post-up area, that crease area, and just trying to take advantage of any offense from that positioning. And we had the entry pass from Lynch into Hanniger. I'm sorry, into Locke. Locke pushes it up.
Short clock now.
Locke one more time, but she's just has a defender draped over her.
Too much defense there from the River Rats. Good job on that possession. Under 2 minutes here left in the first period.
Nice chase and dump pass there by the River Rats. Xana Baker moving forward, but decides to go out, back around along the perimeter. Big throw, big score there by number 15, Anna Leone, and the River Rats jump back ahead 3-2 here in this first period.
And that was more of what you would call a fastball shot and just got through the netminder Tracy. She came up and tried to put a block on this shot, and you can see it just trickles just up under her left arm, over her left hand there. Is deflection?
It was deflected a little bit, but I think that the idea was she had a little bit of space between her and the defender. She just decided, here we go, let's give it a try. They're really, really testing that freshman goaltender for the Skyline Eagles. And there's that set pass, a big shot there by the Eagles. Number 20, that's Ella Enrique Shakespeare.
Can you say that again?
Ella Enrique Shakespeare.
That's a great name.
It's great. It's fun to say.
And Ella comes through, and again, you can see a defensive breakdown there by the Riverettes where the defender, I can't see the number there, but the defender could not get over it. It looks like that was Susan Dowling, one of the captains for the Rats. Now in a quick turnover. There we go, Nick.
Allison Denninger not likely to blow that one. She had the clear breakaway and a nice little punch in just to the left of Faith Baker.
And this is precipitated by the defense for the Eagles on the quick turnover and swimming down and a goalie out of water there.
Yeah, I see what you did there. The home pool Riverettes suddenly find themselves down 4-3. We'll see how they can turn this around, see if they can rally and come back. Scoring's been fast and furious this first quarter, though. Now with only 40 seconds left to go.
And two different styles from the scoring, Nick. You've seen the way that Huron has worked the ball around, where Skyline has found the defensive breakdowns and really taken advantage of that.
Well, and Skyline, it seems like most of their shots have had a lot of torque on them. They've thrown some power balls into the back of that net.
And this might be the final possession.
Faith Baker doing a really nice job of starting offense off, starting play off. Huron is doing a really nice job. You don't see their players driving forward a whole heck of a lot. Like you said, they've done a really nice job of making long, quality passes thus far.
And you can see that their strategy is to keep the distance between each other, as well as that stretching out that Eagles defense and giving great angles.
Spread the pool out, like you said, and here with the final seconds of the quarter come to a close. Big pass, but no go, and that will do it for the first quarter of play. That's first quarter of action here on CTN's Game of the Week. Stick around. We will be right back with more women's water polo.
Did you know that CTN welcomes the members of the Ann Arbor City Council to Ward Talk? On the third Wednesday of every month, a different representative from one of the city's 5 wards joins us in the studio to discuss matters important to the people and government of Ann Arbor. Submit your questions for the next episode of Ward Talk by emailing ctn@a2gov.org or visiting our Twitter page at CTN Ann Arbor.
Welcome back, everybody, as we're about to start the second period of action on CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. Fast and furious first period, Kevin. 4-3 currently, Skyline over Huron. But Huron struck first, and they are clearly not intimidated by the Skyline squad.
Yeah, Huron was really trying to take advantage of their home pool, and they got out to a great start, but the Eagles came back and really took command of the second half of that first quarter of what the Huron was dishing out. The Eagles answered all of it, Nick.
Yes, most definitely. And again, it started many times with Allison Locke and Madison Denninger, whether it's the quality plays on defense and that easy transition into the offensive end. And here we go, once again, sprint up to the ball. Huron once again successfully maintains possession early on. Allison Locke just a tad too aggressive there. Great job getting that ball into that center spot. Emma Kapanen again.
Looks like Sadler was doing a great job on the defense there, disrupting the passing angle and with the steal.
Leah Tracy again getting the offense started, as the goaltender more often than not will do. Denninger with the entry pass into Allison Locke. Allison Locke just lofts one up there, throws a prayer into the center, hoping one of her players is there. Not so much.
Not a great possession that time for the Eagles.
Solid defense by the River Rats, though. Nice job staying in front of their players and not letting anything open up, as has happened a few times.
Well, that's what Coach Glanda wanted to fix going into this second period is the defense. There's too many breakdowns for the River Rats in that first period.
And you did mention Coach Hannah Glanda, her first season as the varsity coach of the Lady River Rats here. 1-1 to start. Not too bad. Not a shabby start, but a long season ahead of them.
That's Coach Glanda there standing with the ball in her hand, yelling out instructions to her team. Only 1 second on the clock. No shot. It looks like Huron just ate that. Just did not even attempt to shoot on cage there.
Discombobulated, I think, is the only real word I have for that, and I'm not sure if that's a real word. Everybody seemed confused, and everybody was yelling.
It kind of fit, though.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a great job, and you can see each Huron player. You can watch them, they've got a hand up out of the water so you can see that they're not fouling and just getting good position in front of the offensive attacker.
Yeah, they seem to be playing really strong, really stout defense. And you mentioned hands up, so that there's probably no clutching or grabbing underneath that pool. But sadly, we can't see what's going on under there. We know that there's kicking, and it's a bit dirtier underneath the water.
Well, for both coaches, that's what they are teaching and
right.
hope to have at the end of this contest is some good rubbing.
Yeah. Expect nothing less from a crosstown rivalry matchup, much like this.
Well, you can see the defense is really picked up here, Nick, in the opening minutes of the second period. Both teams have really done a great job of stifling the offensive attack. And now look at this fast break pass.
And another goal by Enrique Shakespeare.
Really, that was triggered by Madison Denninger with the outstanding forward pass. You can see it right there, the end of that forward pass. You lead your offensive attacker, and that's exactly what that pass did.
Yeah, absolutely. Just really well done, perfectly executed. Seems like Shakespeare is really quick up front there. If they can lead her, like you said, she'll go and get that and then have a one-on-one with the goalie, which the player in the field is going to get almost every single time.
That's like the third goal for the Eagles that have been uncontested shots on the goal.
Yeah, so you have to wonder about the defensive capabilities of Huron right now, or if, again, it's just quicker players winning out.
Well, one of the things you have to mention is the short benches, Nick. A lot of times you have a lot of substitutions in a sport like this because you're having to tread water so much. And you got young players out here, short benches, and that's probably another reason why we're not seeing as much scoring in the second period as opposed to the first period. Let's take a look at this shot.
See that opportunity once again for Huron. Great job just snagging that one hand and then shooting it back in there. Hits the post.
And before that post, it looked like Denninger put a hand up and got a block on that shot as well, too.
That's what a quality water player water polo player will do.
Easy.
Play him both ways.
And a captain.
Yeah. Getting back to our conversation a moment ago, you're talking about the short benches. Coach Godek told me before the game, her bench players, you're probably not going to see get in the pool today. So
wow,
who you got in there now is who we're probably going to see throughout the course of the evening. Huron once again pushes down into their zone, reaching penalty there on Madison Denninger, just a little bit too aggressive.
With that strategy you just told me there, Nick, if I'm a Coach Glanda, I'm stretching out these possessions as well too. It's a way that later in the contest you might be able to exploit some of the fatigue at the other end of the pool.
Right, you are, and if you're only down a goal or two coming into the fourth period,
you're in
striking distance. You're completely correct. There we see the entry pass right into the middle. Allison Locke there, but also two River Rat defenders. Back in to try Locke one more time. And that's going to be Susan Dowling off to the penalty box, but not before the ball goes in. One more for the Eagles.
Now they've doubled up the Rats on a commanding lead, and that was definitely be a power play goal. Is that Madeline Lynch there in the goal?
Let's take a look at that one again. Just as soon as Dowling starts moving off, that opens up some opportunity there. Wide open look.
We'll go with Madeline Lynch, number 14. I see the 14 on her cap there, and she was going back and forth with Locke. And it was a good give and go. It really had that Huron defense guessing.
Yeah, great job by them keeping Huron, like you said, keeping Huron guessing. They were moving around.
Oh, that was a rip right there.
That's one of the stronger shots that we've seen from the River Rats so far tonight.
Anna Leone with that. She's already scored one goal. And she inches away from this power shot.
Doing a nice job getting out of the pool a little bit, had a little bit of leverage on that one. Tried to go high, just hit bottom of the top crossbar. Skyline will continue to work it around. They've got this 6-3 lead. Entry pass for that player coming in.
Well, good job of the defense there for the River Rats, not allowing a shot. And here we go with a good outlet pass.
Real long pass to Emma Kapanen. She's got it one-on-one with the goaltender. Wet shot into the net. And Kapanen gets Huron one goal closer. 6-4 now with that Eagle lead.
Emma Kapanen on this shot, but that pass from Zayna Baker. Great lead pass there. Friends outside the pool. Man, inside the pool, great connection.
Great connection, absolutely great shot there. Aaliyah Tracy had nowhere to go. She had no idea. She was just left out on an island all by herself there. She did the right thing though. She put her hands up and tried to block straight up. You got to make a decision. You got to pick a play there. But not to be denied will be the Skyline Eagles. Madison Denninger, one more for her.
That'd be a hattie. That's her hat trick here. And Madison here, watch how she fights off the defender, Nick. And then right over the ear. Oh, that's a great position to put that shot in, sir.
That speaks to why she's a captain and then her experience playing in the pool. To not be flustered by that player in front of her and still be able to see and keep her eye on the prize at the net.
And you can see why Coach Godek has these two captains. She's picked the two captains. They've been involved in the last two scoring plays. And not just by finishing, but by leading as well.
Yes, that's exactly right. They're two-way players. They do a great job on the utility. There's another really quality entry pass into Lynch. Faith Baker did a nice job of recovering and getting in front of the play there. Great job by her in net to keep this match, at only a 3-goal deficit.
And Emma Kapanen came back and helped out as well too. Boy, we can't turn our heads too much in this game, Nick. There's another goal. And that was going to be from the River Rats, and I believe that was going to be from 15. Was that Anna Leone? Or is that?
That might be number 11, Hamadi. Let's see that again. We'll get to the bottom of this one.
And again, it's triggered by those great outlet passes, Nick.
Yes. Dowling up to the River Rat player there. Great long pass. Looks like that was... Could have been Anna Leone, number 15 in there.
Yeah, I think you were right.
Hamadi?
Yeah.
We're far from the official scorekeepers here, thankfully.
We'll check it.
And we talked about can't turn your head. You can't turn your head before this period is nearly over. There's only 14 seconds left to go in this first half of play because it's been non-stop action. Only 9, 8, 7. I don't know if the Eagles are even going to try to make an attempt before this half is over.
Yeah, they just played it back.
Yeah. And unbelievably, that will do it for the first half action of play here in CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. Skyline Eagles currently up 7-5, but come back, check out this second half nonstop action here on CTN Ann Arbor.
I just wish there was some place I could watch my favorite local TV shows.
Whoa! Ah! Cool, where am I? I want to know! What is this place?
You are in a computer terminal.
Who said that?
I am the god of computers, electrical devices, and social media interfaces.
This is awesome!
I heard your wish and granted you access to my terminal.
Whoa, really? I've always wanted to be inside one of these things. So what's next?
Visit CTN's and the City of Ann Arbor's streaming and video on demand 82gov.org/watchctn.
This is awesome! What do I do there?
Here you can watch city meetings, community-produced programs, school board and education programming, and a whole lot more.
Yes! This is great!
The live streams include CTN's 4 channels: government, public, educational, and community. Just click the sidebar for the channel you prefer and click play.
There's 4 channels here. I can watch 4 channels. Cool.
For video on demand, go to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to find your favorite show, scroll through the mini playlists, or simply use the search bar to type in the name of the program.
Are you kidding me? I wish I knew about this earlier.
Visit 82gov.org/watchctn for CTN live streams and video on demand.
That's great. Now I can go tell my friends once I leave. So, how do I get out of here?
Goodbye.
Hello? How do I get back to my life? I've got stuff to do. I mean, hello? Hello? Okay, I mean, I thought there'd be more to my life, but this is it?
And welcome back, everybody. We've got the start of the second half here at Huron River Rats. We've got ladies water polo, Huron and Skyline Eagles. The Eagles currently up 7-5, but at this point, Kevin, this is anybody's match.
It really is. We talked about how the strategy for Coach Glinda might play out later in this match because the Eagles have no bench to go to. They have a couple players that are suited up, but Coach Godick said she's not going to use those players. So maybe just stretch the game out might be a strategy for the
And
regrets.
as usual, I'm smiling as you're talking because things are happening. Even when you turn your head for 1 second, you mentioned no subs. They've substituted their goaltender.
Wow.
That did not take long before. I'm glad that I'm not the jinx.
Well,
for a
the
change.
only
That's
thing
that's
that
nice
you
for
can
once.
you can count on is change.
I believe that'll be Madeline Lynch in net now for the Skyline Eagles.
And that is some strategy right there coming out of the bench for the Eagles, because they're up in this match and they want to protect that lead, I would assume, by changing their netminder that has helped them out to some early wins this season.
Sure, and the netminder, the goaltender is obviously a big part of it, clearly, but the defense is just as big a part, and that's one thing that Coach Godick has said over and over to me. We could have the best defense in the state, and that's what they need. That's what they're really trying for. So why the switch up in goaltender right now? It's hard to say. Could be some sort of an injury on Tracy's behalf as well.
That's a good call. The Rats coming out of this penalty, they have a person coming back into play. But you can definitely see the defensive pressure has stepped up from the Eagles. You mentioned it, Nick, and I can see it where the pressure is full pull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost the three-quarter court press really going on at this point. There you can see this. You can see Coach Godick and the Skyline bench. Saw Leah Tracy there on the far left side.
Anna Leone getting back, doing a great job, stifling that outlet pass.
Sadler there trying to get the play back into the center of the pool. As usual, the game plan is to try to drive that center player into the post, carve out a little bit of extra real estate for yourself, then you can turn around on a close goal. But there appears to be timeout. Timeout Skyline, I believe.
Interesting way how coaches can call timeout in this sport. They have an air horn. And that's the only reason I looked over as you were calling the action over here. You can see Coach Godick put down the air horn. It's sitting next to her chair over there. But that's the way that both teams, they have air horns next to their green chairs, and that's the way that they can alert the officials whose backs or whose vision is right on the match.
Well, it's alerting the officials, but it's also has to be to alert the players in the pool. I mean, they're in there splashing around. That's loud. They've got these caps on over their ears. That's muffling. If you could scream timeout at the top of your lungs, you're probably not hearing that.
That's a good call. And even inside this building, you have the echoes going on too. So early timeout there for Skyline. Nick, where does this come into play in the strategy of your conversations with Coach Godick?
Yeah, with 5:34 left to go, still only 5:34 left to go here in this third period. It's hard to say. I mean, she could just be trying to talk to her players about staying strong on defense, like we talked about. We've seen them be very aggressive. Maybe the idea is keep that up, or once you get the ball from that aggressive defense, here's where these people are going. X's and O's from that. That's my thought.
Well, and another one may be we have to keep our players fresh and quick and utilizing your timeouts to, again, with the young team, set the table and give them a breather.
Another big thing to consider right now, Huron does have a player in the sin bin, so they could be setting up that power play.
Nice.
And here the ball comes into Madeline Lynch. Goaltender playing point. She'll get that ball in and make her way back to her cage.
The Eagles trying to keep some clean passes, and that's just what happened there, Nick. A clean pass, didn't touch the water.
Lefty Ella Sadler from your far side. Very patient. Great job with the patience there by the Eagles.
You see Sadler, watch her, as she passes it, she kind of just sneaks in a little bit, just enough to improve her angle and to set up that pass and shot goal.
Just inching in a little bit is all it takes in order to get the proper angle and the right look at that goal. And here we see the Eagles doing a great job playing that in-your-face defense once again. Huron having a much more difficult time getting the ball into that whole set position right in the middle of the pool. You know, that first period, it seemed real easy for Huron to get those outlet passes right into the middle of the pool. They have not been able to take advantage of that again.
It looks like Skyline they're sagging a bit on their point, and someone is cutting off that outlet pass, and that definitely has to come from the bench. Great job of trying to go to the left hand there. Looks like that was Baker.
And then a real long breakaway pass up to Ali Guevara.
What a block! That was a block of the game, Nick.
Real great stop by Faith Baker there. That's the reason why she's a captain.
Oh, man, watch this reaction. Timed perfectly, and Baker comes right out. Cut off the cage with the big arms out of the pool there, but really the reaction on the shot.
The wingspan there by Baker really helps too, because she went up initially and then dropped those arms down.
Kind of frightened the shooter there.
Yeah, it could have been. That could have been. They could have thrown the shooter off a little bit.
Oh, good transition here. Good 2 passes to get this ball up the pool for the River Rats. Not long passes that you're saying getting intercepted.
Well, I think that what they need to do is they need to readjust what they're doing. Those long passes were very effective that first half. Not seem to be the case right now, so now it seems to be a more shorter game where it could be a little bit more possession-wise rather than dump and chase.
And you see a lot more of the Eagles getting into the passing lanes, which is affecting the Huron passing, Nick, and you don't see any clean passes. You see a lot of wet balls.
And a huge save there by Lynch. Another great defensive effort he received on both ends of the pool right now.
These goalkeepers are stepping up and popping up.
Great one-timer right there. That was almost assuredly going in that top corner, and Lynch was ready for it. Great reaction time, had both hands up on it. Well played defensively. Now the Eagles will take their time to work it around.
Madison Deniger that time kind of slipped out of her hands on the shot and just touched the side post. You can see that pressure. Look at this pressure all the way up the pool.
And this is how Guevara's gotten opportunities, though, in the past, by pressuring up front. And there it is again. Dump pass into Guevara. Guevara has it nearly all alone. Will she have time to turn and shoot?
Smart.
Great awareness there by Guevara to turn and see Allison Locke coming in. And Locke had an open opportunity.
Yeah, but Margot Leone
stifled.
Margot Leone came back on the defense, another freshman for the Rats.
Skyline back to the one-up advantage. Ella Shakespeare there over to Ella Sadler. Sadler puts another ball in for the Skyline Eagles.
It was a good gather there after dropping the ball in the water. She comes back and you see that right there. This is a clean pass. Watch this. That's the drop I was talking about. Yes. She had to gather the ball in her hand to really corral and get us some pepper on that shot.
Yes. And a rarity to have a lefty, to have a southpaw in that pool. It's a real advantage for an offensive team.
It definitely. In any sport, because mostly you're playing against, you believe, more righties.
Yep.
That lefty just throws you off on the defensive end.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't see it in practice or anything.
Yeah, nearly any sport, having that lefty is a giant, giant advantage. Whether it's that left foot in soccer, that left-handed pitcher, or that left three-point shot.
Hey, the left-handed broadcaster, Pete Poirier.
There it is. Absolutely, Pistol Pete. So with that last Sadler goal, Skyline now up 9-5, and their defense is stout, to say the least.
Yeah, defense is creating great offense, really. It's turned from turnovers, and really, we were talking about the Eagles being fatigued. Right now, it looks like the Rats are the fatigued team out there. They're not having clean shots. Passes are finding the water. It's just not the way they started off that first period, Nick.
Right, they started off with a bang, and whether it's Skyline adjusting or maybe a little bit of adrenaline coming back a little bit now that we're 3 periods in.
And program-wise, the Eagles have had a very strong program under the leadership of Rebecca Godick. They've gone to state championships. She's led boys as well as girls teams to hosting a trophy.
Yeah, Coach Godick's had tons and tons of success.
Coach of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, as you mentioned, both girls and boys, and she's just done an amazing job with this program. She's done a great job creating a program, not a team, program. And here we see the Eagles, one more opportunity. Oh, hard off the post. Ball still in play. Opportunity for a Skyline player to get over there and try to recover their own rebound. Called away, and Huron will take possession.
Yeah, good job there by the Faith Baker in the cage, cutting off the angle for Huron, really utilizing that post as a friend.
Yeah, no place for Lucy Palacios to go. Again, that's a really experienced goaltender in there.
Wow, nice save there coming out of the cage was Madeline Lynch, utilizing her long reach, every inch of her fingers for that save.
Yeah, Lynch has really done a nice job here coming in cold, not off the bench. She was obviously in the pool playing, but just really nice job this third period. And speaking of this third period, it is nearly coming to a close. Only 3 seconds left to go here in this period before we get into the final frame. But before we do that, we'll take a break. Please stick around. Still tons of action left to go here on CTN's Game of the Week.
We want everyone in Ann Arbor to be safe. Which is why Ann Arbor has a law requiring drivers to be 5 feet while passing bicyclists, pedestrians, or wheelchairs traveling on the road. Most traffic lanes within the city are at least 10 feet wide, so give half a lane width of space for safety's sake. This is a good way to measure how much space is required. And if it isn't safe to pass, don't. Be cautious, be patient, and most of all, be safe.
I wanna go running.
But my stumpy arms are best suited for browsing a2gov.org/CTN. For real, check us out at a2gov.org/CTN.
Okay, Bob, we got it.
Stay awesome, Ann Arbor.
And welcome back, everybody, to hear CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. That third period was all Skyline. Both defensively, they really did a nice job shutting down Huron. The Reds scored no goals in that one. Well, Skyline put a couple of more on the board. Currently up 9-5. Kevin Bryant, what can we see in this fourth period?
Well, maybe for the River Rats, first off, to go back to where they started this match at, getting some clean outlet passes, keeping the ball out of the water, and getting some maybe lob shots on the cage. That's what was successful to start off the match. For the Eagles, it's been all of their defense. If they can continue to have this type of pressure for another 7 minutes, they'll come away with this win in this crosstown rivalry.
Yes, so much of the Eagles' offense has started from the defensive end, whether it's taking the ball away, being in those passing lanes like you mentioned. But here we go. Ball away for the beginning of the fourth period. And the Eagles with their first victory in the face-off time.
Good play there by Allison Locke just to scoop it back to her teammate.
And we'll see if the Skyline Eagles continue to be aggressive or if they're going to try to pass the ball around a little bit more, kind of kill some time here. Yeah.
And you can already see where they have 3 of their attackers just playing defense. Not playing a person in the hole and really spreading that pool out.
A little more of a nickel defense out there. Nickel offense almost, really. We've got Skyline getting ready to start it off. Ball back in play now. Sadler on a nice give and go to Lucy Palacios. We'll see, she breaks away right off the crossbar, though. Big rebound opportunity for the Eagles.
Baker does a great job of cutting off that angle, though, and not allowing a good attack shot on the net.
That was really a classic give and go right there, though. There you see Palacios drives forward. Once she gets it, she does her best to get up and just get a quick shot off while that defender's on her. Really solid opportunity there for the Eagles. The problem with that give and go, though, is when you get that really hard sprint on that end, man, you got to turn around and go back up the pool and get back on defense.
And the Rats are going to have to take those opportunities and really going to have to, pressure the Eagles. Quick turnovers, quick outlet passes, because they're down 4 big goals.
And I think that the Rats can't be too particular in the shots that they take. If they get even a little bit of sunlight in front of them, they're going to have to fire that one away. Long pass there by Palacios. She is determined to put another ball in the net.
Well, all the shots so far in this opening 90 seconds has been from the outside. It looks like the Eagles are really allowing the Rats to let that defense sag in.
Yeah.
That's where it needs to be a quick shot.
And we've got another timeout, this one by Huron, apparently.
Yeah, and you called it before. It's right. The coaches see when the penalty is being called. There's a penalty being called on the Eagles. There's a player going to be in the send-in, and so that's where you get the quick whistle from Coach Glanda to see what we can do as far as putting together a play that they may have worked on in practice.
Completely correct, and it is 5-9 right now, but they put one in here. There's still a lot of time left. They've shown the propensity to score quick goals. They're not out of this thing. So a goal here goes a long, long way.
And you're in your home pool. You have your fans in the stands. You want one of those goals is going to get people excited. It may be, because you have a young squad on the other side, only 1 or 2 seniors on the Eagles roster. Maybe that creeps into their minds that this game is not in the bag yet as well, too.
No, and yeah, just one goal can always swing that momentum even just a little bit. And we saw Coach Godick there. I'm sure she's well aware of that as well. So she wants to talk to her girls about playing that in-your-face defense they've done so well doing.
And it may be a discussion between the 2 officials. Both of them were pointing across the pool about who was out and who was in. 2 officials now, before they're starting to reset, got on the same page, and 1 official now is coming over to the scorers table to clear up who was the person that was going to be who was called that penalty on. Is that Denneker?
Yep, that appears to be Madison Denneker in there.
One of the players the Eagles would ill afford to lose for this 20 seconds, I'm sure.
No, Denninger's definitely not one of those players that you want to lose. She's been just a monster defensively and offensively. Here Huron goes with that power play, working the ball around. They are going to be waiting for that perfect opportunity. They've got a little bit of time.
Yeah, they didn't take your advice, Nick. I would have been peppering that cage. Because now you come away with only one opportunity, playing maybe for the rebound. But when you're just peppering that net, it's a chaotic scene. You never know where that ball is going to bounce.
And a hard shot could create a long rebound, even if it doesn't go in. Here we've got entry pass into the Skyline player. That is Enrique Shakespeare, and that is another goal for Ella Enrique Shakespeare.
Oh, another person with a hat trick, the second one for the Eagles.
There you can see her muscling forward, and that long loopty pass into her. Doesn't take too much time with it. She could feel that defender on her, I'm sure, but she still could get the ball, compose herself, and get that ball in.
It's a really superior passing out of the Eagles, and finding their attackers and leading them to the shot. Good pressure here. You can see the hand out of the water that time on the penalty.
Yes. You see Guevara moving forward really quickly, just doing a great job driving that one forward. No Huron defender to be spoken of, but decides not to take the shot.
That's
passes
patience.
into the middle, gets it back, still has plenty of time, does a little fakeroo up and still picks her spot, puts another one in the net. Really, really well executed by Guevara.
Yeah, Guevara took her time, a couple deeks there to get the goalkeeper to kind of act like you're coming out. Great job of faking out twice there, and then still going on top.
Well, and brilliant play by Locke, too. She received that pass, brought those two Huron defenders right into her, which completely opened up Guevara, sent it back to her, and just wide open.
Teamwork there.
Great passing, great awareness by those forwards. And here we go, Skyline off to the races one more time. Pushing forward, those Rats did finally end up catching up with her. However, straight up the middle, up the gut, the Eagles still have the numbers.
That's a penalty Huron will take every day of the week.
Oh, of course. Slows things down, gets the play back out around the perimeter, gives them a chance to get back and get their defensive positioning. Palacios had that defender draped over her. Not a great opportunity there for the Eagles on that one.
Important possession here for the Rats. They need to get a quality shot on the cage.
Easier said than done when that defense is right on top of you.
All pool long, right?
Most definitely. And on top of you, what we can see, what's going on underneath, any kicking, kneeing going on underneath, which is probably happening in the midst of those egg beaters. You just never know.
And you love to see that out of a coach that wants to win, and doesn't want to have the other team dictate your win. They're pressuring the Rats, the Eagles, and not allowing them to set any type of rhythm to get back in this match.
And both coaches mentioned before the game, this is game 3 or game 4 for either squad. There's still so much season left. They've only played 3 or 4 games right now, but Skyline is going to play 6 more games in the next 7 days.
A lot of pool time for these young ladies. What a save there. Another fingertip save by Lynch in the net.
Lynch has been a real hero in the net.
Well, it's a good substitution, right? You start your freshman, and then you bring in someone with a little bit more experience, a senior.
Sure, and yeah, you give your younger goalie a chance to sit outside the pool and watch how things are done.
Yeah.
Yes. Just kind of like me watching you all the time. Just
come
watch and
on.
learn, man.
Come on.
Watch and learn.
Checks in the mail, sir. You can see Aaliyah Tracy there.
Just after you see another monster save by Lynch. Great job getting both those hands up and knocking down a hard shot. Hard shot saved, and then outlet pass outside to Allison Locke.
Well, the offense has been stymied really for the entire second half for the Rats, but you can still see good energy out of their team. Coach Glada, she has to be pleased with the effort in this match.
Oh, there's no slumped shoulders. There's no giving up. Everything's still moving forward, and they're trying to take advantage of those opportunities when they're given. The problem is they're few and far between with the way the Eagles' defense is playing.
Well, and the Eagles are really showing you and everyone out there in TV land what it takes to win in this sport. We were talking earlier about the excessive scoring that we see in water polo, and since the second period, it's been all Eagles.
Yes, most definitely. Here we see some physicality going on there.
And again,
Allison Locke trying to make a little bit of space for herself.
Yeah, and again, you can see the Eagles aren't too much concerned about getting the shots on goal. It's really that clock they're playing against now.
Yeah, eat up some time there. That's completely fine. And there's another opportunity. Great block, though, by Madison Denninger. Denninger, not the biggest player in the pool by any means. She's a little bit smaller in stature, but, man, she is ferocious out there. She makes things happen.
She's huge in the pool. You can see this replay here right on top of her player. That's a stuff.
Denninger, great job. Knew exactly what was going to happen there and got her hand on it. And then Faith Baker gets her hands on one. With 30 seconds left to go here in this matchup, Kevin. Skyline, like you said, like we just got done saying, after a little bit of a slower start to this match, really took advantage of the second half and changed things up, and they're showing who the better squad is at this point.
With only one substitution.
Right.
That is an outstanding job coming out after those 2 goals and fighting back and really taking command of this match. And it's a very good thing to see early in the season, Nick, that a team can be down and then get back in a match.
Only going to make them stronger. And that will do it for this game. Once again, Skyline Eagles 11, Huron River Rats 5. But stick around. We will have an interview with the player of the game, and we will be right back with you.
And welcome back to the CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm now joined with Madison Denninger. Wow, that was an incredible match that you did out there, both on the offense and defensive end, and you came away with a hat trick.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about some of those goals you scored. What's going through your mind when you got one of those passes was like a give-and-go pass?
Yeah, so we've been working on that a lot in practice, actually, the give and go from like the 4-5 side, the lefty side. And so I just think like practicing that over and over again, it just kind of becomes like a habit. And so I'm so used to it, and like I trust my teammates so much to like get the ball to me. So I'm not really thinking a lot, I just kind of know what to do.
Well, you're one of the only seniors, one of the only, upperclassmen, I should say, on the team. You got a very young squad. What are you doing as far as helping out some of the younger players get accustomed to playing Skyline Eagles water polo?
Well, during practice we all warm up together, so I think we really try to like enforce like a team atmosphere to make sure that like everyone feels included. And just like when we have some of our varsity players go in the JV game, and they're making sure they're helping everyone in the water set up, and like us varsity players that don't play JV will be on the sidelines. You'll see us on the bench, and we're just like giving them feedback and making sure that they're understanding the game and kind of explaining it to them.
Well, I can see why you are a captain. Very well job. Good job today in the pool, and better job with the interview. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And that will do it. Nick, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. And as always, we need to thank and point out all the great people working behind the scenes here at CTN's Game of the Week. On camera, we've got Jamie Chu and Katsumi Nagai. Chloe Hill's doing replay and audio. And as always, Rob Cross is the director. For Kevin Bryant, I'm Nick Wisniewski. Folks, thank you so much for joining us for CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. We will catch you next time. much.